Hello, and hello everyone, and welcome to D&D Night on DDOstream, right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I am your Dungeon Master this evening, the third Sunday of every month for the next 3 months. This and the following 2 Sundays, I will be doing a kind of a one-off, 3-part quick story arc that is so far being entitled Cantrip. Real simple. I'm not giving a lot of detail about it at this point, but you too will learn more along with the party here in just a minute. Before I get to that, I did want to mention that we are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, the most supported virtual tabletop with more official licenses than any other virtual tabletop. You can go to fantasygrounds.com to learn more, fantasygrounds.com to learn more. They're also very soon going to be releasing a new version of it, and it should be quite a bit modernized as well. And you can learn all about that if you want to, but you can also pick up modules and things for your account now if you wish. So it's also free to get an account, and you can play with friends largely for free. So fantasygrounds.com to learn more. This is Cantrip. I'm Cordovan, your Dungeon Master. Playing with us tonight is Even Note. Hello. Say both who you are and who you are playing.
Both who you are and who you are playing. Oh, that's not what you meant, is it?
Something
Ha.
like that.
I am Even Note, and I am playing Nashtai, the Kalashtar. I don't know how to say it, but something like that. Paladin.
Okay. And Kalashtar Paladin. And what's the character's name?
Nashtai. I said that.
Oh, Nashtai. Okay.
Yep.
And Nivmund, who are you playing here tonight?
Hello, I'm Nimbin, and I'm playing Nimi de Galanda, a Galanda housemarked halfling bartender and ladies' man.
Before we get started here, just for the assistance of the audience, do you know enough to give us a quick rundown on that House Galanda house dragon mark? Just read it
I
real
don't.
quick.
Let me find it.
Yeah, it would be useful just for everyone to know kind of what that means that you've got the House Galanda dragon mark here.
Well, it's a dragon mark. It's like a really cool blue tribal tattoo that is given to the Galanda House of Havlings. It allows me to have really good persuasion checks. It gives me an extra D4, but with the greater dragon mark feat, that goes up
Wait,
to a D.
you also get Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion for realsies? Oh my god.
Yeah, and Sanctuary. So like you could basically, as soon as you get your first feat, just have a mansion.
That's awesome. That's also going to be surprisingly handy, so thank you very much. Also, let's go next to Oro. Say hello, Alex. This is playing Oro.
Hi guys, this is Alex from DDO Sunday with Alex Lynn, and also known as Groovy on both Twitch and
Turn yourself up just a little bit if you could,
Twitter.
please.
Okay, let's see if I can. Is that a difference?
No, not really.
Or is that different?
Maybe just speak a little bit closer to the mic.
See if that's any different.
Yep, much better. Thank you.
Okay, sure thing. And I'm playing Oro Rococo, who's a strange human-looking person who is a mind mage.
And what is a mind mage?
They are a mage who is specialized in the spell of psionics.
So,
Which
like
is,
scanners, they can make people's heads explode?
In theory.
In practice,
can
though?
make-
What can you actually do?
In practice, I can inflict a substantial amount of psychic damage and blast someone back.
Very cool. Okay. Like, neener, 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 neener. Do you have to put your fingers to your foreheads? How's that work?
I, in fact, don't. And sometimes I can do a few things without moving or speaking or anything.
And then finally, we have got Rogue Baby playing. Oh, I will actually let you take care of the pronunciation. I want to make sure it's right.
Hi, this is Rogue Baby or Lynn from DDO Sunday with Alex and Lynn. I'm playing Lee, and she is a half-elf warlock, and she is a folk hero. And she also has the coolest, cutest little purple pseudo-dragon following her around, and his name is Nibbler.
Great. Well, that sounds great. And do you mean folk hero as in like a hero of local folk, or a folk hero as in this person's really good at like folk ballads?
Oh, I'm excellent singer. You should really try it. But no, it's I'm the hero of my hometown of Canton, and I ended up saving them from some raiders. So they put a statue up to me and everything. It was really cool.
Well, very nice. All right. Everyone should have in front of you an image of a really heavily fortified town that's been shared with the party and is now shared with the public here over on Twitch. So, welcome everyone, by the way, on Twitch. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Feel free to talk in chat. We'll see what we can do there. Crack Knot, nice to see you. Comic, Teen. Of course, some people from chat here as well.
It appears to be spiky.
So, you're a group of people who have been on an adventure for a while now. This is largely set in Eberron, but its location is something that takes place kind of wherever you need it to be, and I'll explain that in just a second. So, you have been on an adventure for a while now, and so you're kind of covered in blood, kind of covered in whatever it is you were doing on your adventure. And if you look at your party sheet, you will know that you are covered in wealth. You guys are rich.
Nice.
The reason for that is that you were extremely successful on your adventure. So I'm going to use a word that would be a swear word, and I'm not going to use the swear word. And so you're going to have to know that there was a swear word to kind of get what the point of this is. But so everyone knows the phrase rich as, cow dung, that kind of thing as a phrase. But few people know that it's actually based on a real incident that happened to your party here. And it was your heroic efforts that, in the tales spread of those efforts, that actually created that phrase, rich as cow dung. And the reason for that is, of course, is because
Are we covered into?
Because it's highly nourishing to grow new foodstuffs, etc.
We fought the king of Odiogs.
there you go, the king of Odiugs. I like that very much. So you're covered in Odiug blood and all that sort of thing. And also covered in things that, while it may not technically be human excrement, it sure looks and smells an awful lot like it. It's nonetheless, you are so full of coin at this point that, hey, that's fine. You can buy a shower, right? And at that, if you want to throw someone 10 platinum, they will let you stink. So you're through a fairly mountainous area, and you get to a tavern. And at the tavern, you sit down, and the night goes on, and you begin to tell a story. The story your adventurers tell is a tale about how you need to be very careful about buying from random travelers on the road. And you recite this tale, a horrific tale, but also a bizarre tale, involving someone who was selling cantrips on a caravan, town to town to town to protect the name of the town and to protect the name of those both innocent and less so. We're not going to mention the name of the town here in this tale. But I was wondering if you might want to talk a little bit amongst yourselves as a party to get to know each other a little bit better, and then also figure out what you're going to do given the present situation you were in when you get to this nearby town.
Uh,
Well, hold still. I'm going to clean off at least everybody's face.
Oh, I got myself. I can cast prestidigitation on myself and clean right up.
All right, well, let's at least do that so we can talk about this without having to. Well, so people can use their mouths to speak.
Yeah,
So,
I'd like a bath.
I mean, you can smell each other. It's not very pretty. You've done whatever you can because you know you're getting into town. Presumably, you're going to want, what, a tavern and a shower in a stable, maybe a shower in a stable?
Anything will help.
Oh, I have a cousin Benny in town. You know, we run a bunch of bars around everywhere. And so we'll get you right handled up when we get up.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's really interesting that you mentioned that. Because, Nimi, you have heard of a town not too far away called Oldman's Knee. And they might be just the kind of lowbrow but also decent enough place where you could go and grab a quick shower and they're not going to be worried about it because they're used to people coming in from farms and that sort of thing. Might be just perfect.
I would like a shower as soon as possible. I don't want to
Yes.
get this stuff on my good clothes.
Well, yeah, we'll go to Old Man's Knee and we'll get all washed up and gussied up.
Lead the way, Nimmy.
Follow the furry foot.
So you remember Oldman's Knee, and again, we're making this name kind of to be a reference. You can choose to believe maybe it was a town or whatever, based on what you hear. You remember it being a military outpost, and thus having tall, large walls. But you also remember the outside being miles of fields, corn, soybeans. They would do wheat. They do a lot of crops. Depending, actually, there's even, because they're near the side of a large mountainous region, they even have kind of worked out a bucket system to get down below, where they can even grow some unusual fruits and things like that because of the sun that they get during a certain time of the day. So you remember it being very agricultural, but when you arrive, you notice something far, far different. It looks like there's been a battle going on, and recently, as in just within the past couple of hours. You see fire, you see what were the outer walls of the town basically destroyed, and you hear a bunch of chaos inside.
Well, damn it. Looks like we're not getting a bath.
This doesn't feel right.
This seems incredibly typical.
Well, this is disappointing. I really don't like being covered in this stuff.
What are you going to do?
I mean, we can wash up in the river before we go in there, but it sounds like they need us in there.
Oh, please, I think I would like to do a quick wash if that's acceptable.
How about this? I'll start a cleaning process on you as we go in to save people from dying horribly, if that's what we're capable of.
That is fine. And also, I'm hearing about these exotic fruits, and by Ilyana, I would give my right arm for a mango.
Well, so here's the good news. You see a mango. Here's the bad news. Half of it, literally half of it, is squashed under a boot. but the other half seems largely all right. If you wanted to try to cut it off.
Is the boot on anyone or anything's foot?
No, it was just basically squashed in the mud of battle at some point.
I will very carefully cut the non-squashed portion of the mango away. And to be on the safe side, I think I will just wash it with a bit of water from my water skin and take a small nibble at first.
It's, maybe 6-8 hours a little on the old side, but it's fine.
Oh, you customers are always funny. There's people dying inside, and you're cutting up some dirty ground fruit.
Excuse me, I did not eat the dirty part, and I washed it before I knew.
Well, the people are still dying inside.
Well, you don't know actually what's going on inside, but you definitely know that there
They
was
may be
some
having a
kind
party.
of... Well, actually, here's a good point. You may know your own backstory. Remember, the way I tend to do role-playing is I am very open to you making up your own backstory on the fly, and I believe in the yes and principle of kind of doing this sort of thing. So feel free to get as crazy as you want to. But the way I interpret it is you guys go into this town and you are seeing chaos here. If you are the sort of person who might recognize, say, a war from a bandit attack or something like that, then let me know, and maybe we could do some kind of roll here to get you some sense of what's going on before you walk on in. Otherwise, you tell me what you want to do. You could set up camp out here for all I care. If you want to use these fire to roast wieners, that's,
I'm curious. My guy wants to go in there and see if business is still good.
Yeah,
I'm a bit cleaner, and I've had half of a mango. I suppose that's all right.
Right. Then I'm
Hey,
going to do a little
Cleefbeard?
bit of prep and let's go.
Don't even quest me until I have my coffee, until I have my mango.
Yes.
All right,
And
so
that's
you're
it.
going to walk into town. Hopefully, hey, if everything goes well, maybe you'll be lucky and there won't be. There'll be a section where you can just kind of go in and see what's going on. But, in fact, here's what you see.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's going to be a lot of stuff.
Since the icons are loading way before the picture.
I may go outside and search for another mango.
Inside,
This is
you come in, let's say you come in from the north, that hallway or that passage to the north there, right? Let's just put you on the map from there. The pineapple wedges may be related to what might happen later. Hopefully the party is not seeing that. The party should just be seeing a whole bunch of tokens on a map. Is that correct?
Yes, just tokens on a map.
And the rest of it is still loading for me.
Yeah, it's a fairly big map, so just let it sit there for a minute. That's fine. No, that's fine.
Yeah,
No
it was
problem.
humorous because it was blank, and then all of a sudden, all these little tokens just went. Bloop, 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 bloop.
And we'll
Like,
get you on there too. I will place the four of you kind of place to start with.
Yeah, you may be crashing my fantasy grounds with this map. I'm really really stuck here.
No, just let it sit. Close the one map if you want to of the
I'm
outer
trying
castle.
to. I'm trying.
Just let it sit. Just don't push anything. Don't click anything. Just don't close anything. Just let it sit. Just let it sit. It's fine. That's what I would do. And it'll load. But put the map behind with the priority. So go down below. Yeah. See in the space where all those tokens are? There you go. Just like that. And then just let it sit.
Yeah, everything is being super slow.
Alright. Minor tech issue there. Alright. So, are all four of you able to see the map, other than I know Even is having some loading issues, and that's fine, but can at least see what's going on here, which is that you find a town that is in chaos. A town that is full of people, and you hear the sound of, you think, spell casting, because certainly some of you cast spells, right? So you would know. And so you think you hear the sound of spell casting, but it also kind of sounds like a riot. And off to, on the map, the southeast, and to your characters, the northwest, if you kind of think about where you're facing, you hear a sound of particular chaos. What do you want to do?
Is that just regular people in front of us that we see? I will
Yes,
say,
you see
"Good
regular
sirs, what is
townsfolk
occurring?"
that some people are running, some are just kind of standing around trying to figure out what's going on. Some are angry, maybe? I don't know. What do you think? You got any skills? You don't want to make some rolls here?
Sure. I got some insight.
Oh, also a quick shout out to /u/Mr. Valor. These are, I believe, some free or low cost from Fantasy Grounds maps that I picked up on sale. Paid, I believe, $7 or something for them. There's a lot of great maps there. So let me just quickly give a shout out to Mr. Valor for putting these maps together, because they're darn useful. Alright, so we've got some insight, and none of the rolls particularly great, but it does look like you maybe don't have... Maybe it's not a battle after all, but maybe there are some people casting spells?
Do you want to do a perception check for me? Because my Fantasy Grounds is still locked up.
Can you close it?
Well, if all else fails, we can ask somebody.
No, I mean,
And keep doing that until we find somebody who
fantasy
can
through the whole
give us
thing?
an answer.
Like, close
Oh, well, it
Can
would
you
also help
X out
to
of
join
Fantasy?
the crowd.
Oh,
Maybe
there we
if
go.
we start shouting and breaking
Okay.
things, we won't get singled out as weirdos.
So that person just right in front of me, I'm gonna try and get their attention and ask them what's going on.
It was doing this even before the big map loaded.
Alright, you get the attention of this lady in pigtails who's running with what appears to be a scroll of some sort. And she turns to you and says, I need to get over there. I need to see if it works.
If what works?
If I've got an old an old Cantrip scroll here, and if it works, then everyone in town can have it.
I see.
Wait, is magic not working here?
What are you here for?
A bath.
Yeah, we're dirty.
Oh, well, certainly. Anyway, I gotta
Very
go.
dirty.
And the lady runs.
Lead to gold? What do you think? Or base metal to gold? That's just my guess.
I don't know. I kind of want to. Let's follow her. See what's like. Let's do some investigation.
Let's
All
head
right,
towards the racket.
All right, as you head towards the racket, give me your best perception check or related skill. And also let me know, how would you like the general public to perceive you as? Someone kind of big and powerful? Someone sneaky and hiding? Someone famous? You let me know.
Well, I'm clearly someone famous.
Well, I'm not like a terrible looking halfling, but like I let my Galanda mark show. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey people, if you want a good time, I have cousins.
I'm a erudite and a bit mysterious, but yeah, that's good enough. Because you can't really like see all of my face all the time and stuff like.
All right, Lee, maybe it was because you got the chance to see that woman's eyes, but it looks like some people are concerned, almost as if they're anxious or stressed.
I will approach one of the least frantic, more concerned looking people and ask basically the same series of questions like, what is going on?
Nobody seems to want to stop to talk to you.
Huh.
Oro,
I guess
off to the left, when you... let me kind of show you here. If you're continuing to head down, so Oro, when you get to about here, I believe Lee would have just been about past you, and Nimi probably just getting around a couple of people here. I've got a couple people that aren't on the map, just sort of imagine that.
Okay.
It's like a large crowd, basically. Oro,
Right.
you definitely see off to your left someone cast something like a... Was that a sacred flame? Definitely was someone casting a spell off to the alley to your left. To the audience's right from where the group is coming down. Do you guys want to keep going forward toward the source of the chaos?
That way.
Or do you want to try to perhaps sneak around the backside?
Well, Oro, do you fill me in or do I keep walking?
Well, I'll fill you in. I won't say anything, but I'll fill you in.
Is it like a psychic message?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, I say let's investigate. Whatever is there is going to be, well, might not be there forever, but long enough.
Yeah.
So you're going down the alley?
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right.
Warily. Famously warily.
You see some small torch-like lights sort of hover in the air, floating down the alleyway towards you. And then you think you hear a couple of guffaws.
Ooh, is that dancing light cantrip? I have that cantrip.
It is the dancing light cantrip. Now that you think about it, yes.
Ooh, as we walk to them, can I cast prestidigitation to like cause little firework like effects to happen around my head?
Perhaps. Let me tell you what you see, however, Lee and Nimi, who are first and second in line. You see a stranger with a very dirty sort of outfit, someone who probably spends a lot of time in a barn, maybe not entirely dissimilar to the way you might look, with perhaps 20% less excrement, bent over with the wrong side absolutely facing you, guffawing as more dancing lights come out of deliberately a certain section that is facing you. And you, this person, and the two people in front of you are just...
Could you reshare that map?
right then.
Huh. Well, that explains some things.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to hold my nose.
Sir, are you farting in our general direction?
Oh, I didn't see you there. Right. And you could tell they were totally lying.
So, were y'all using a scroll to do that? We're just curious.
Well, I'd suggest you go inside the inn if you want to know more. But you know, I might be able to tell you a little something for a little something.
What something would that be?
You don't need me to tell you he's asking for money.
Oh. I guess.
Nimmy, pay
Um,
the man.
Would you rather have a drink?
In there? Oh, idiots.
I whip
As a
out
matter
like
of
a
fact,
little
hey, idiots,
flag,
we
and
gotta
I'm
get
like,
going.
my family comes from a long line of brewers. This is top shelf. This is worth at least 2 platinum at a cheaper residence, on house discount. I'll give you this glass for some of that information.
A glass of beer?
Not only the beer, this is micro-brewed Galandian beer.
Well, all right. What about my two buddies here? They want money too.
Well, how about I dive in my little. How about a whole bottle?
They look at each other and say, yeah, we'll do that. All right. And they grab your bottle. All right.
Perfect.
And so they get up close to you and they say, what do you need to know? They clearly are the kind of people who might well find themselves handcuffed by the end of the day. They clearly look like ruffians.
What's all this hubbub with all the cantrip scrolls?
Well, see, this person stopped by a couple days ago, and he no one believed him except a couple of people got scammed, or at least that's what we thought. But it was all true. It was all true, and now he's in there selling it to everyone who could come with the money. You should just try to get in there, but good luck doing that. Have you even been to the other side of the building yet?
Nope.
Nope, we just saw you folks on the way over.
Well, all I can say, worked for me. And he runs off with his friends and who try to chase after him.
Because he's got the bottle.
Yep.
It's a really good bottle. That was made by my Uncle Joey.
Well, that's nice.
Well, I have ideas about what we're gonna find, but let's go find out, I guess.
Fine.
Oh, where there is business to be made, there's business to be had.
Are we clean now? Or am I
Do
clean?
you see Lee, someone who you just bumped into there? Can you see that person?
Oh,
Do you see someone on the map right there?
I see a token that's red with a yellow triangle.
It's like
Great.
a little Dorito.
That is working as intended. You accidentally bump into someone as they turn around and they say, "It's a pretty rough-looking person." The person takes a look at you, does not like, apparently. I don't know. Maybe a racist?
Could be.
And unleashes an insult that I would not even dare to say here. However,
Clash Tar, more like
you need to
Clash
make a wisdom
Tard.
saving throw.
That would have been
Wisdom.
my favorite one.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I think I know exactly
Oops.
what happened.
Mine, that was some vicious mockery.
I am not feeling so wise.
I heard worse.
All right, so let's see here.
I would like to use a cantrip. I would like to cast message at this gentleman and whisper to him in a voice that only he can hear that he's
Alright.
being very rude. And there are more of us than there are.
Faye, you take 1 point of psychic damage.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I did. Could you repeat that? Sorry, real quick. Even, could you
Yes.
repeat that?
Yes, I would like to use my message cantrip. I should probably also change my push to talk key because control doesn't always work. I would like to whisper a message to this gentleman and let him know that I consider his comments extremely rude and we're pretty strong and he doesn't look overly strong and I don't appreciate his tone. He might want to think that over.
The person looks over. You feel ready to just... I mean, honestly, if it was a dark alley, you'd say throw a knife. But as soon as they see you and the people next to you, and then kind of look back over at Faye, or Lee. Lee? Sorry, Lee.
It's okay.
I'm always like this, you know. Lee. Kind of just... You get the sense that the person is not afraid, but is just looking at the odds. And then just backs off saying, all right, sorry about that.
I will nod magnanimously at him.
And lets you through.
No one messes with 3.5 party members.
All right, so you're going to continue to make your way around the corner, or what you want to do here?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, when you get, do you want, I'm going to first let you do a perception check when you first get around the corner here. You probably would want to go by road, but not necessarily. Because when you see a little gap in what was probably just, in general, empty keg storage or, you know, empty crate storage of the tavern, you see a throng of people pounding on the door. Ba-dum, boom, 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 boom. Let us in, our coin is good. You see a bunch of people right in front of you. Some are kind of walking quickly. Someone bumps you from behind and whips around the corner at a full sprint. And a bunch of people, even you see coming from a side road also, are heading straight toward the door.
Check your
What would you
pocket.
like to do?
I'm betting there's someone in there that needs help at this point.
And I bet there's a shower in there too.
Yes.
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, I can open that door. But at what cost? This looks like it could be harmful if we let all that in there at once.
Yeah, we need to chase him away from the front door here, I think. Gently.
You know, my grandpa once told me sometimes people like this need to go where's a place where everybody knows their name.
Oh,
Yeah, right now I just think there's someone about getting the bum rush.
that's what I'm saying. There's somebody in there that has realized the error of their ways, but they can't get out of the tavern.
What if I set up my mansion and we put up a sign saying that we too have these scrolls?
That is a fabulous idea.
Okay.
So,
Let's say you
so
do that.
how big of a space do we have to clear?
No, it's a pocket place. It's just a door frame. They just enter it.
Are we simply clearing this one that I'm accidentally rotating here?
Oh, all the people in front of the door, so we can go in. Would you like to hot your way up there?
The entrance shimmer faintly.
So you see an
It
opportunity
says,
if you want to slide between
oh wait,
the
that's
back.
the food. You can
Oh.
serve up to 100 people in there.
So you see an opportunity if you want to be able to slip between the back of probably the storage shed and the front door. There are some bushes and stuff there. Additionally, you do see one person who is kind of looking through a window there. And Nimmy, actually, you're not there yet, Nimmy. Or you probably would be, right? Are you coming up?
Yeah.
You see a knife in that guy's left hand.
Oh, we need to stop that guy. That guy is dangerous. He has a weapon.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, I have a question. If I whisper to him in a voice that only he can hear, will he know it's coming from me in all this crowd? Or will he just hear the voice in his head? I do not quite understand how that works.
For message, we need to look it up real quick.
They do get to reply to it.
You
that
point
only
your
you
finger
hear.
toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target, and only the target, hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
But it doesn't say if he knows it's coming from me, and he might miss me pointing at him in all the crowd, because well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking of doing till I get a ruling.
Yeah, you can cast it without that person. They'll hear it at least. They'll hear a whisper somewhere.
They won't know it's. They won't know it's.
I would say it would depend, but potentially.
Probably with all these amount of people milling about, especially if you're kind of back here.
Alright, if you're a Clash Star, you can actually do a telepathic link without the message cantrip.
Well, I specifically want to deliver a message. I just think it would behoove me if he did not know who the message came from. Is that like a roll I can make?
Yeah, I mean, you could try to.
Maybe.
Sorry, let me get Discord prioritized again. Yes,
Sure.
that is a roll that you can make. Yeah, you can make a,
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, whatever skill you feel might be most appropriate, and cast the message spell, and we'll see what
How about
happens.
persuasion?
I mean, I can't rule that because I can't tell you who you're facing. For all you know, they may have a detect magic amulet or something, right?
If they don't, they may have. Now that I've brought this up, the DM may still. How about persuasion? With that, because I'm trying to, persuade them. Is that?
Are you through a message that would come from you?
Man, I don't want to. I'm going to try to whisper to him that another location has a lot more of the scroll, and see if I can get him to spread the word and take off and clear some people out.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Make a persuasion check and then cast the spell. Natural 20.
There you go.
I don't know if you're aware, but down the street, about a mile, there's someone with lots more of those scrolls, and nobody's there. There's no line, no waiting.
You see the guy look to the right, to the left, to the right. He kind of turns around with his arms, kind of going, what in the... And then he bolts right towards you, bumps right into you, looks you square in the eye, says, "Get out of my way!" and shoves you aside, and then runs past you in the direction you indicated.
Certainly, sir. Good luck in your quest.
All right.
So what do you think about the plan? That I set up a mansion and we put a banner up real quick.
What happens if you close the door on them?
I mean, they can just open it up. We just need a distraction to get in there without them threatening whoever's in there.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I agree. I like this idea.
So you're going to set up a what?
I'm gonna cast my Mordraken's mansion, put a banner up over it saying "Super Duper Scrolls for super duper cheap." And while everyone's freaking out about this and going in and you know, like looking at all the phantasmal setups and all that in there, we slip in.
To the tavern.
Yeah.
What is the outside of a Mordekainen's mansion look like? Does it say per the spell?
It only says that there's a 5 feet by 10 feet shimmering door that you'll see on this side, and once you go in, it's a beautiful mansion.
Yep, you conjure an extra dimensional dwelling in range that lasts for a day. You choose where its one entrance is located. The entrance shimmers faintly and is 5 feet wide and 10 feet tall. You and any creature you designate when you cast the spell can enter the extra dimensional dwelling as long as the portal remains open. You can open or close the portal if you are within 30 feet of it. While closed, the portal is invisible. Beyond the portal is a magnificent foyer with numerous chambers. The atmosphere is clean, fresh, warm. You create any floor plan you want. It sounds fine that you, with your plan to do what you want to do with it. Contains sufficient food to serve a 9-course banquet up to 100 people. A staff of 100 near-transparent servants attends all who enter. You decide their visual appearance.
They all look like disgruntled Spencers and Hot Topic employees.
If you were to close it... Repeat that again? Spencer's and Hot Topic employees?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, I said this is loosely based in Eberron for the purposes that matter. So there's definitely a whole lot of Steam Rogue music. It's like these, I don't know, these little street urchins who get really into the aesthetic of gears and stuff, and they play this really aggressive music. So they're dressed in that. But, you know, you can pick up that shirt just about anywhere.
Perfect.
So you get to determine the layout. So you make it fairly labyrinthine.
The last rule, though, I was going to say is that if you were to close with people inside of it, or if it were to close with you inside of it, you would just be expelled into open spaces nearest to the entrance.
Well, that's fine because we don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, they go in, they see one luxurious life. My character just wants to distract them and maybe give them a little fun story. Like, I don't want to hurt them.
Now, just in case it helps, in case you want to change your mind, it does have a cast range of 300 feet. So you don't have to necessarily say it's yours if you don't want to.
Oh yeah, let's open it like on that building, like between those two buildings that's across from the tavern door, maybe. And
Yeah.
then I'll do a what do I have? I have
Minor illusion.
a banner illusion. Like, so anybody that can do illusions do stuff on it, like flashing sail and
Yeah, do a minor illusion of a guy going like, I just got $1 million platinum by for scroll.
Well, I don't have any illusions, but what I can do is use message as a cantrip so I can cast it as often as I want and just kind of whisper in many people's heads. There are amazing things and riches through that.
You're
Yeah.
going.
So,
I don't think you can whisper to more than one person.
No, but it's a cantrip so I can cast it as many times as I want.
That's true. About once every 6 seconds.
Yo,
And I can double that by
And
doing the same thing.
I will
The
use
ma-
my minor illusion to
As a
make.
matter of fact, you know how strange you just mentioned that, Oro, because you suddenly heard someone say, "You guys should fuck off." Sorry to use that F word, but that was how rough it was. It was rude. Like someone seriously ready to attack someone else.
oh man,
Dropping an F
it's going
on
to.
the official? Nice.
I need a minute to cast a spell, but who said that?
You hear
We
some
could all hear that, right?
yelling. Yes, you hear some yelling right near the entrance to the tavern, and some people
Okay.
jostling each other back and forth.
All right, guys.
As a matter of fact, now the people over there are being jostled, you see a few have seen you, and another one goes into your ear, Oro. Come here and help fight me. Help fight with me. Nashtai, you hear another one. You should get out of here.
Why? What's going to happen? What is happening?
Mob.
We wouldn't want a pretty lady like yourself getting involved in something like this.
So, guys, should I go over there and scare a bunch of people away?
Yeah, do that. That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this. I'll simply sit here and lick mango juice from my fingers.
All right. So, which way you get? Can you move yourself on the map?
Yep.
Well, tell me which way you're coming in. All right. So you are coming in through the alley there, right? That person in front of you, Oro, is the rest of the party following with?
I mean, I hope so.
Sure.
I mean, I'm only a little guy. I'm not going to be right behind you.
Oro, you see the person in front of you is someone who might. I mean, they're wearing a baker's apron, and they are a not yet middle of life aged lady, but certainly not a young person who would normally be in this kind of thing, with a butcher's knife, stabbing the person in front of her and being stabbed in the side by someone else next to each other, and they are just yelling the most heinous things at each other that I already said the one. I'm not going to do it again.
Okay.
You only get one.
Yeah, this looks like it's turned pretty
Nimi, still
bad.
do the mansion while he's doing whatever he's doing, so we can try and break this up as quick as possible.
I mean, if he's about to do what I think he's about to do, a mansion showing up out of nowhere is not gonna.
So, yes, what is it that you're going to do?
I am unleashing the spell Fear, which makes things frightened and run away from me as fast as they can. They don't take other actions; they just run.
And it's based on that 30-foot cone that you have marked on the map here.
Correct.
And is there a saving throw or something associated?
There is. It is a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw.
You say wisdom.
Yep. It's my your chance to run away spell.
All right, good enough. So these people were already in a position where they were beyond what they would normally be doing. You can't tell whether it seems like many of them. I don't know if it's that they're desperate exactly, but they clearly feel like there's a limited supply of whatever it is inside that tavern that has everyone going crazy. And they weren't afraid to hurt each other. Maybe those two had some old school grudges already or something. It's hard to say. But there was already pushing, and with a little bit of bloodshed and a little bit of like actual physical violence, that fierce spell sent a wave through the crowd. You hear everyone in the two women who were hurting each other start fleeing. They run into the people behind them, who run into the people behind them. Someone says something like, fire? Someone says something like, it's going to blow. Someone says something about someone's getting crushed, and people start fleeing from the scene there. Here's your chance if you want it.
All right, I'll cast knock on the door.
Okay, let me remind me real quick what that spell is. I mean, I know it's knock, but describe to me what it... Well, let me see.
It says choose an object that you can see within range. The object can be a door, box, chest, a set of manacles, a padlock, or another object that contains...
Okay, a target that is held shut by a mundane lock, or...
Oh, and
that is stuck or barred becomes unlocked. If it has multiple locks, only one is unlocked. So, when you cast knock, you see a big kapow against the door, which surely would have been enough to bust through its substantial, albeit fairly old, iron lock. However, with your skill, you see it looks like there's a plain old bar of wood blocking the front of, or the other side of that door.
Yeah, my trick ain't getting us through. There's a good old-fashioned wood block behind here.
Can I look through the windows and see anyone inside?
There's only one small window in the door, which you can tell just based on looking at the other side of the door that you would not normally... It's probably mostly always open because it's full of cobwebs and stuff. You notice that right away. So this door is not really used to being open and shut very much. As such, there's not usually much of a window in it, just a little one. How tall are you?
I am 5 feet 10 inches. Totally opposite real life. But the person with the knife earlier was looking through a window. Can I look through a window somewhere on this building and see someone inside?
It's behind you. It's behind you about, 25 feet?
Okay, I'm going to move back here, about here, 25 feet.
Correct, actually, yeah. It's just to the left of that bush.
So, I'm looking through the window. Do I see any?
You see... Well, give me a perception check.
Am I familiar? Would we know there's someone in there with these scrolls? Would that count as being familiar with the target?
No, but make
Okay.
a perception check or something like that.
Okay. Crap, my perception sucks. Roll a
You
12.
see some people who are, I mean, they're not stabbing each other. You can tell that there's a lot of people in there.
I only
But
need
it
to
also
see one.
looks like they're not fighting. They're just kind of standing there.
I would like to look towards the friendliest looking one and whisper, "We have more scrolls to deliver. Please let us in." Persuasion?
You hear a message back. Wait your turn like everyone else.
I said we have. No, I better not do that. Because then when we get in there, we don't have scrolls, things will get.
I could try and shatter the door.
I don't think a lack of scrolls is their issue either.
So I slowed down time for this to give you enough time to go back, look, cast the spell. So that's basically a round, I'm going to say, for even here. During this next round where you were casting the knock spell, was there something that Lee or Oro wanted to do? Oro, you cast fear, so let's say that you were doing that.
Yeah.
Lee, was there something you wanted to do?
I was holding my action until I saw what was going on.
Okay, now you've seen what's going on. So I'm going to say
yeah.
you're the last person to take an action for this turn, if you
Do you
would like
guys
to
want
do
me to
so.
shatter the door?
That works.
Wait till there's space, but yeah. Why not?
I mean, yeah, not with people, but I can cast it on a non-magical object.
And wait till
let's
I do the
see.
next round so I can
I
loop
don't
back
think
to the
it'll
party.
fail its save. I
And
mean,
wait
I
till
don't
the
think
wait till the next round so I can catch up to you and not get caught in the madding crowd. I've already been dirty enough for one day.
Okay.
It's worth. Go ahead.
What, Alex?
I was going to point out that they also drop whatever they're holding, the people. But if we give them a minute, literally, that's how long this lasts, it'll clear some space so we can make sure no one gets hurt by that shatter.
Now, when you say drop whatever they're holding, do you mean that even if they were holding something precious to them, they would, by the terms of that spell, be forced to drop it? Or is it just mostly they would be afraid and someone who would drop something of a normal nature when being afraid would drop it?
Let's see, it says, or drop whatever it's holding and become frightened for the duration. So I'm going to say, for this sake, like they're not going to drop their diamond ring, but they may drop a weapon they're trying to use.
You do see those kitchen knives on the ground, and you also see some butcher's block knives. You see a couple of kind of mallets that would be used for various things. You see... Is that an entire bag of gold?
Well, since I'm not doing the shatter yet, I'll try and get some of those weapons out of the way of these mad people.
The weapons, huh?
The knives and stuff.
Oh, okay. You were able to do so. Where would you like to put them?
Behind us, up against the door, I guess.
Okay, you do so. All right, so we're going to start the next round here as it were, kind of a loose round. The crowd starts thronging forward. And it's at that point You see another person kind of get into a fight with someone over by what appears to be perhaps a more normally locked and guarded, maybe that's a guard, of like where the nicer ale, wine, cask cooled beer, things like that might be. Meanwhile, you notice two what appear to be very tall, very skinny, very lanky, half orc singers who are strumming, and they were looking at each other, mimicking each other, only to turn around to see this entire throng of people running and screaming fear right towards them. What are you going to do?
Were they any good at their singing?
Well, you kind of weren't paying attention.
Were they inciting violence?
You kind of think you probably would have noticed, right?
What do you think, Emmy?
Well, if the people are just running away, then they shouldn't harm them. And I'm pretty sure that they can take care of themselves.
Well, they're musicians, they're not combatants.
But
And I am lawful good, so I suppose I will send a message to the nearer one. Say, look out, they're stampeding, get out of the way.
All right, you're going to do that?
I'm just
So-
gonna start screaming, "Run!"
So, Nimi, I want to give you an opportunity to make a skill check here.
okay.
That skill check would probably be either Arcana or Performance or Perception if you want to learn more about something about those bards.
Ooh, my perception's the highest out of all of them. Alright, I'm gonna try it. Go, Nim.
You can't quite... You could have sworn for a second maybe it was an actual bard spell being cast, but you're not sure.
I think they're doing some hoo-ha.
Either way, would they actually want these people to be stampeding towards them?
No, this will disrupt their concentration.
All right, so we've kind of decided that that's what the people are doing. I'm going to give everyone a chance to kind of do what they wanted to do. I did want to give you a chance to learn that as a bard yourself. What else do we want to do? Do we want to just kind of go around in sort of combat track order?
Sure.
All right,
Seems
so Nimi, you first.
All
Actually,
right.
roll for initiative. Let's do that. We haven't actually done that for you yet.
Oh boy.
This will be a general initiative. Remember that I update my initiative every single turn. I do this in Fantasy Grounds. It keeps people on their feet. It also, I think, more closely mimics the chaos of battle. And it kind of helps, it kind of causes disruption to plans and things like that in a way that I find entertaining. All right, so Oro, you're up first.
Probably. Unless Lee rolls higher than I.
I did not.
Okay. For now, I'm going to keep my eye on these guys. I'm still going to be concentrating on keeping these people running away. I'm just going to be using my mage hand to lift weapons and put them on the roof of this building.
Oh, better idea than mine.
Okay, you're going to put A mage hand can't lift a person, can it?
No, it's lifting their weapons.
Oh,
They got
putting the
left.
weapons on the roof of the building. Okay, sure. Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
that. No problem. Yeah, no problem at all.
We can get them down later, but right now, no one runs back and grabs a cleaver.
Yeah, for a moderately skilled or certainly becoming more skilled adventurer like yourself, being level 5. Oh, I should mention that to the people watching. We are all playing level 5 characters here that were rolled up for this campaign. As a level 5 character here, Oro, that's frankly fairly trivial for you to do at this point. Is there something else you wanted to do?
Let's see. No, I think I'm gonna keep doing that because I need to, figure out what else is going to happens before I do things more drastic.
All right, sounds good. Nimi, your turn.
I kind of want, but it's too late because it says the casting time for Mordecai's Mansion is a minute. And I want to cast it in front of those half orcs so all the people running towards them would just run into the thing.
You could try to rush it. I mean, you're kind of casting a song in your head. It's a Mordecai Mansion, and it's really great, and it's got like 4 walls and all that sort of thing. And you can try to read it real quick and see what happens.
yeah. Let's. I'm gonna try to cast Mordecai's magnificent mansion in front of those half orcs to prevent them from being stampeded, so they can create beautiful art.
Make another performance check.
Rolling low.
Thankfully, you remember most of it. You can't say that it's a magnificent mansion, but you're pretty sure you didn't just send him into a pit of lava. And a doorway does, in fact, open right. And did you want it to be like literally right in front of the bards there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get that done in here in just a sec.
That's an all-day safe house, just in case this escalates.
I'm just trying to figure. Oh, yeah, here we go. Pointers. Square.
I guess before I end my turn, I'm gonna give Leia a room to shatter the door.
Oh, it's my turn. Well, I already moved up before my turn started, so the first thing I'm going to do is move up so I'm with the rest of the party. And I think I will hold any actions to see what happens next.
Real quick, can you remind me how wide that doorway is?
5 feet?
The shimmering doorway is 5 feet?
Isn't it 5 feet wide by 10 feet tall?
Yeah, okay, that's right. Okay, very good. Cool. Sorry, what were you doing here, Nishai?
I am simply moving up to join the rest of my party and then holding my actions to see what might transpire.
All right, Lay, your turn.
All right, I am going to attempt to shatter the door, and I don't know how you want me to do that. Should I just cast or do damage? Or
yeah, let me take a quick look at that shatter spell there. A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice. Each creature con save or take thunder damage, 3d8 thunder damage. This is a huge amount. Half as much on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic material such as stone crystal or metal has disadvantage. So if it's enough to give disadvantage to a creature made of metal, and does 3d8 thunder damage, but it is, however, a loud ringing noise, that is going to very likely deafen a whole bunch of people nearby, up to and including the rest of your party. However, it almost certainly will blow down that door, and
Let's do
potentially into whoever's behind it.
Well, I will attempt to do it so it doesn't like blow too far into the tavern. I don't want to kill people in there. So if I have to kind of step back some.
So how many
Or can I
die
control the
damage would
range?
you like to roll?
Well, gosh, how many hit points does a door have?
Go all in.
All in? Okay.
My knock spell didn't do anything to it, so
Hey, I used a reaction and covered my
18 points of thunder damage blows into that door and shatters the iron lock. It just crumbles inward, and you hear a quick rip as it comes through and busts the door down outward, knocking at least a couple of people behind who start screaming and yelling, "They're breaking through!" All right.
Do any of us take thunder damage?
No, because that's because you're adventurers. You're real good at that.
because of science.
Yeah.
Well, I also didn't point it at you.
We all step aside. It goes off.
Despite
we all
what
step
this looks
back.
like on the map. On the
I'll
chat.
just assume that I ducked and covered my ears when I saw what you were about to.
I put the hair on my feet and plug it in my ears.
Also because it was pointed towards the door, and it was really focused. However, it's almost certain that some people got hit by a very heavy door with a very heavy wooden kind of block in it at a very
Sorry.
big velocity, enough that they're worried about the crowd outside might well have shattered that door. You still, though, only largely see the door, and then maybe a couple of backs, because at this stage of the turn, that's really where we are. The start of next turn, when the NPCs and that move first, you'll kind of see the impacts of what you did. Anything else you want to... No, actually, it's Oro. It's your turn.
Yep. Okay. Does anyone look like they're at death's door? Just a quick look.
That's a little door pun for you.
That was... I could give you a point of inspiration for that. That's pretty good. That's real good. The answer is you don't know. It looks, however, like the door is unable to fall down completely, although is wide enough that you could jump kind of through a V from where it fell inward.
I'm gonna back up near the door, like right next to it. I'm not leaving because I need to maintain line of sight, range, area, etc. for these people, so they keep going the way they should be. So other than that, I'm gonna hold my action in case if someone makes an aggressive move towards us to cast a spell.
All right. Neshtai.
I would like to step inside and take a look around.
All right, make like an athletics check. Very good. And you step in through the door. I'm going to actually just keep you there for now, and we'll see who else steps in on this turn, and then we'll kind of let you know what you see, okay?
Okay.
Lee.
I will also be stepping in. Carefully.
Give me an athletics check.
I am
Uh-oh.
very graceful.
As a matter of fact, give me a dexterity saving throw. Your leg gets stuck in part of the lower section of the door as it kind of gets pushed back briefly and actually almost crushes your leg and your ankle. But thankfully, comes back just enough that you're able to rip it away with just some minor scuffing. And then Nimi.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself,
Excellent. Okay. You do so.
and then I'm gonna go through the door.
All right. I'm going to ask you also to make an athletics check, but with advantage. Excellent. You quickly step through the door without any issue. All right. So who at this point then is not through the door? That would just be Nash. No. Who's
Oro.
Oro.
Oro. So let me show you then at the end here what happens, and then I'll let you join. We'll flip over maps, and then I will have you join basically on your action this next turn here. So as they come running in through the front door of the place, you see people crowd into the bards, getting kind of pushed and then disappearing, and the bards look at each other. And I would like you, let's see, Oro, you are a wizard. Make an insight check.
Okay.
Alex, you're a bit quiet again.
Sorry.
That's better.
Okay, at first you think you see one of them mouth to the other, "It wasn't mine," but now that you think about it, it actually was, it wasn't one of his.
Okay.
All right. And then the crowd basically bunches through. The two bards kind of back off really into the alley here as best they can. And the crowd pushes through and then around. You see off by the outer, kind of wine flagon area, they are continuing to engage in a pretty violent melee. That guy, if he's a good person they're guarding during a riot, may well find themselves victim without additional help. What are you gonna do?
Talking about over here?
Yes. Over by
Okay.
your characters left. There's a building, and that building would be used to store the nicer beers and wines and kept cool and things like that. And it's usually padlocked and often has a person outside guarding it.
Okay, so there's a thug there, or that's how they're marked. Is that the guard, or is that the person?
That's the guard.
Their way through the guy.
Yeah, that's the guard. Who looks pretty thuggish, pretty rough and tumble. This looks like not a very nice town. However, that person may, you don't know. You don't know what they're doing.
Right. And the person next to him with it looks like a pair of knives is the one trying to
Correct.
take him out to get in.
Yeah, that's what it looks like,
Well,
yeah.
I will help him out. I'm going to, I'll use a mind sliver, imparting a shocking, let's see, drive a distorting spike of psychic energy into his mind.
All right, and how much damage does that do?
Well, there's a saving throw. It's an intelligence save, DC 16.
Okay. makes a save.
Then it takes no damage.
Okay. And it was
But
targeted
It
toward...
probably still hurt.
Yeah. Definitely got their attention and kind of shook them back, at least briefly, you see. Do you want to take the rest of your turn to pop inside?
Sure.
All right. Let me, real briefly here, switch maps then. Give me a quick second to make a few adjustments based on how we approached.
The Great Conga Line. I was right. They were queuing up.
All right. I don't know how many of you can see the map.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get you on. All right, so I'm going to put you about there. Those two shapes are really the debris and remnants of the door. And you can see the one person is half trapped underneath. There's a guard right off to your left who looks at you quickly and says, "You have 1 second to tell me why you should live."
We're here to help.
Then block the gosh darn door.
Can I...
He's not
Push.
saying calmly. He's saying, block the door.
He's telling us to block the door?
Yes.
Can I simply push the door back into position because we kind of don't want to let anybody else in anyway?
Not by yourself you can't, but you could with a strength check, maybe contribute.
Wait, that was a save. Wrong one.
No, that was a strength. Strength
Okay.
check sign. All right, so you're able to provide some lift. Are you going to yell out to the rest of the party to help, or what?
Please,
Yeah,
help
what's
me
it
put this
she's
door
doing?
back.
Did I hear someone say they were going to help?
Yes.
All right.
I'm invisible. I'm chilling.
Yeah, absolutely you are. That's why I put you in the corner there. All right, so Lee, you actually are in a good position to pick up the door on the other side. Give me a strength check as well.
I'm feeling
Oh yeah,
strong.
you fully lift up that door, and the two of you are able to use leverage, and now you get it. Nimi, you stepped aside briefly to allow it to happen. And now the door is propped up vertically again against the outside there, but of course you busted completely through their iron lock. What are you going to do now?
Huh. Is anybody hurt? Like, deathly hurt?
Yeah, there's that lady in front of Nashtai who, well, you see blood anyway.
I actually can't do anything. I don't have any healing.
I should have lay on hands, but it's not showing up. Gah.
Kiss it better.
But we know you got it. And you can distort it, you can put out a point or however much you want, so.
Oh, you know why? Because when Fantasy Grounds was locking up, I unloaded practically everything.
Okay, can we see to the other side? We can just see lines of people, correct?
Yeah, at this point, I'm keeping it fairly vague because you just got through. The dwarf yelled at you, and then you and Ashtai really took the door and propped it back up. Oro is, invisible, as you in the party well know, and then Nimi backed up in order to do that. I'm going to say, actually, Nimi, you still have a turn here to do something with, if you'd like to. Do you have something that can assist in getting the door locked, or do you want to do something else?
I was the one with the invis on me.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so then Oro, what do you want to do?
I've got a quarterstaff, and that's all it is. If there's places for a bar to be dropped, I can do that.
As a matter of fact, there is, because there is a metal bar, kind of an L-shaped thing, wrought iron, that, although bent, is still usable, and it's on either side of the big door. So you just might be able to do it with, I don't know, what kind of check do you think might be best?
Given what I've got, dexterity probably, just to...
Go for it. There, right like that. You were able to kind of slip it right through. It was used to a more rectangular thing. So your square one, even though it was bent, was able to get it right through, jam it in, and there you go. The dwarf looks over at all of you and says, "You must really, really want your cantrips."
Step aside and start moving forward.
All right, so at that point, you see, I'm only putting the people here of relevance here. I'm not including everybody. There are other patrons in the other rooms, and pretty much as far as the eye can see. But what you can see is a line of people who were patiently waiting until the door broke down, and they were afraid maybe someone was going to perhaps hurt them. You see a lot of fear and a lot of eyes, but also a lot of greed?
Sounds like a certain forum I've been to. No.
Oh, that's not actually a piano in the upper right.
Oh,
As a
man.
matter of fact, it's a drum set. Drum nights?
I'm proficient in drums. This intrigues my bard.
Indeed, as a matter of fact, it's a very high quality set of drums. As a matter of fact,
can you do like a
as a matter of
rolling
fact,
drum solo?
you could. As a matter of fact, you're kind of tempted to. You have only heard of a set this nice, but you've certainly never seen one in person.
I'm invisible. No one's gonna yell at me if I'm gonna start. I'm gonna play some beatnik bongos on those.
Well, you can get over there this turn. And you can get yourself sat down and prepared, ready to go. I assume you're not... Do you want it to... You don't want to make noise preparing, right? You want to actually sit down and then bang start?
Yeah.
All right, so give me a quick skill check there.
For stealth?
Sure.
My middle name's... Oh.
Well, there was definitely a bang as you stepped on one of the... You forgot there were two of them. But other than that, maybe no one even noticed in all the chaos?
I'll loudly start coughing when that happens.
All right, yeah, with the aid of your party member, it looks like you got away with it.
perfect.
All right, so the rest of you, what would you like to do?
Are we
I'm
still
gonna-
going in turn order?
We're going in loose turn order, as a matter of fact, because I think that would be everyone's turn here. So let me actually just scroll through the turn, see where we end up again. Start of this turn is Nimmy. You're actually up because of the stealth. Are you going to start playing, and what are you going to play?
You remember Wayne's World when Garth was like, I like to play, well, like when he gets on the drum set, when Wayne was looking at the guitar, he gets on the Garth gets on the drum set.
Yep.
That's exactly what I want to do here.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Well, make the most applicable skill check you can think of.
Why?
You know, there's. I'm sure everyone's been there when you go to karaoke and you just you know you're gonna nail that song, and then I don't know if it was like the speakers or something, but you just couldn't get in. You couldn't get in sync with it, and so. But perhaps, you know, you tried so hard, you wanted to believe so well that to you it maybe sounded okay, but it didn't sound okay.
It was my warm up. Next turn.
Yeah. However, you do see a whole bunch of heads turn toward whatever that is, and then you think you hear someone say, I didn't know there was one for that.
This is not the greatest drum solo in the world. This is just a tribute.
Oh, sorry, I skipped you, Nashtai. Go your turn here.
Okay, so
the
Bouncer thinks we're okay now?
Well, didn't attack you.
I'm going to strike up a conversation. Wait, is this woman in front of us still grievously?
You do see blood, and she's kind of on her knees. You know, she clearly had the door with the iron lock section kind of nailer in the lower back.
I'm going to ask her how badly she's injured.
Can't speak.
Too bad none of us are role playing a lawyer, because this would have been a really good shtick.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you millions.
That's this woman with the dark hair right here to my
Correct.
upper.
Yep. Not on the combat tracker because the person isn't likely to engage in combat.
Well, then I kind of hate to waste my lay on hands on her. You'll be fine.
Medicine?
Walk it off. That's just a flesh wound.
So, do any of these people look like they're about to attack us?
No, they're all waiting in line, anxiously waiting in line, looking. Really, you're seeing a bunch of backs, except for the drums, which have a bunch of people turning now toward that, and the door, which still has people kind of pushing forward to get away from the door space that was created and then put shut again with the injuries. And you see the people next to the lady basically really angry, but not like violently so yet. That you
Okay,
can
actually, I can't drag this onto her, but I'm going to use my lay on hands and heal the woman. And then give her a gentle shove to get her out of harm's way.
Great. You actually shove her just away from the door there, and she kind of is like, ah! But then she starts sitting up and looks back at you appreciatively. All right, Lee, your turn.
Alright, I'm going to continue to move forward until I can see kind of around this corner to see what's actually going on. Hold on.
You do spot what someone appears to be like a bartender slash tavern person over behind the counter.
Okay, I can't get my map to do. Okay, so there's a bartender. Okay, yeah, I'll move up towards him. Excuse me? Sir, could you please tell me what is going on here?
Are you paying for that door?
Of course!
He kind of looks at you with a big eyebrow raised, and then
Slap
puts a
down
hand out.
platinum.
Are you going to put some money down?
Yeah, slap down a platinum on the counter.
He just shakes his head. What are you, insulting me? You think that door is worth a plat?
Well, that's just for what you're going to tell me about what's going on here. Then we'll discuss the door.
You give me the money for the door first, then we talk.
What is the going rate for a door?
Oh, probably. I mean, I don't know. What do you know? Have you ever purchased a door?
Well, I'm thinking about a platinum. Sounds good.
As a full hero, I mean, you've heard about people building houses and 10 plat?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you 12 if you give me all the skinny on what's going on.
All right. He grabs your money and then kind of looks around and says, so, yeah, I guess about 4 days ago, this little kid shows up, claims big things. Everyone thinks he's an idiot. He is an idiot. But sure enough, a few people he suckered in started doing it. Now, word spread quickly. Now everybody is in line to get these powers for themselves. Nobody wants to be left out. There's chaos outside. People are fighting each other. We don't know how much is left. And all we're hearing from the inside there is, oh, there'll be enough for everyone as long as you're willing to pay.
Enough what?
Do I look like someone who's had time to wait in line and go in there?
So people are waiting in line for something they don't know what it is.
No, it looks like they're casting spells is what they're doing. They're ordinary folk. You know, hey, yesterday you were doing stuff with pigs in a barn, and today you're doing stuff with pigs in a barn, but you're using magic to do it. At least a couple of people that got suckered in enough to give him that much money as he was asking about 4 nights ago.
Wait,
no longer
doing what exactly with pigs in the barn? No, I don't want to know.
Cleaning the stables. What are you cleaning their pens? What do you think I'm talking about?
Oh, please, let's not go there.
Anyway, you didn't hear it, so but nonetheless, he saw the offense that you said. No, cleaning their pens. What did you think I was talking about? Anyway,
Very well.
So you did pick up that ordinary people, are giving this person money and think they're being able to cast spells?
How old of a child would you say?
I don't know. I usually deal with older people and never mind much of them kids that come in with them, but like maybe not old enough, well, only old enough to marry Twerry Rich.
I see. Sounds like he is rich.
Is now, that's for sure. Look at this place.
Thank you very much. Hey, a beer for everyone.
You think I've got any beer left? Apparently not, I think is the expected answer there. Oro, your turn.
Well, so someone's making one-shot scrolls. Does anyone know if this stuff keeps working for you after you buy it? Ask the crowd.
You see some people kind of looking at each other, hoping that someone else would give an answer to that too. but no one steps forward with an answer.
Does anyone know if they work for you? Work, like everyone, or just some people?
Again, people kind of looking at each other. You hear one person say, I don't know. Ask me in a couple of days here, and I'll let you know.
How much are they charging for it?
How much are they charging you, do you mean? I don't know about you. I'm getting a special deal.
Oh, I don't need them. I'm just curious. Wouldn't want y'all to.
I'm just holding them for a friend.
No, you're playing the drums. Actually, let's say that would be your turn. Is there any kind of final comment or statement or action, Aura, that you wanted to do here?
So what are you going to do if it doesn't work, or they're out, or there never was any?
Do you want to make a persuasion check?
Sure.
Wah, wah.
Typical. Nah. I have this
Someone
before.
you hear someone turn their back and say, "Someone wanted my place in line." Nimmy, you're up. What do you want to do now?
I'm not satisfied with that first drum. I'm gonna go again.
All right. Ooh, that was much better. You just hit it right off the beat. And what is it exactly you want to play?
I don't know what song.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah, except okay. Amazing drum solo, not bad. I mean, you've heard better, particularly on the pre-recorded music that exists around this world. But hey, it's pretty good for just sitting down at someone's. All you can say is, they say it's the drummer, not the drums, but these are some real nice drums.
All right, I'm satisfied. Before I end my turn, after I can make a movement after a skill check.
Yeah, sure.
I would like to move up to the bar. And just invisibly sit next to Lay.
Okay, we'll leave that at that point then. And Oro, what would you like to do?
You
Forward
forgot to hit
steed
your
with
button,
no
Alex.
name.
Alex, you forgot to hit your button.
I am not pressing my.
I went through a
speech to talk.
desert
I'm
on
gonna
the
sit
forge
down.
with no name.
And start prestidigitating, like cleaning things, making my table nice, and generally setting up with 3 or 4 prestidigitations going at once.
With the aim of what?
Well, it may draw attention since all these people are here for cantrips. Otherwise, it's also making myself more comfortable.
So one of the people who just saw you ask those questions, and, well, if you're such a disbeliever, then what are you doing?
Well, I'm casting magic.
How'd you get it?
Study.
Okay, let me think here. All right. So yeah, the person actually looks at you and said, "Then why are you even here?"
Well, I've been on an adventure, and I am in need of the use of this building's facilities.
The guy looks
Also, I don't
you
like seeing people getting trampled to death over nothing.
over nothing. This is changing everything. And you do need a bath, but you wouldn't have gotten one here anyway. There's no place for outsiders to stay in this town. Well, unless you're someone like him. And he points to the door, which everyone is waiting in line for.
Okay. I guess we're stopping here on our way to somewhere better. Anyways, and I'm going to continue doing that
Yep.
sort of things.
I think that sounds like a place to end that turn there. So, Lee.
Okay. Behind the bartender, is there like a pizza oven or a stove or like a something like that?
Yeah, you see, I mean, there's a door in the back where they presumably do some food. You do see plates and things around, so they do have food here, clearly. Not an
Okay.
oven exactly. You don't see a visible oven, but that there probably is one.
So basically, I think what I'm going to try to do is over here. The map is not doing what I want it to. Over here next to the where the line goes into the back room, I'm going to put my token there so you know what I'm talking about. Like right here.
Yep.
I'm going to create bonfire.
Oh, you gotta be. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We are going to take a 5-minute break here. You are watching, by the way, D&D Night on DDOstream right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, sponsored by Fantasy Grounds. You can find out more about them at fantasygrounds.com. Sign up for free and play for free on their tabletop software, of which we are using here to bring this tabletop thing with you here tonight. We're going to go for about another 45 minutes to an hour, but I wanted to make sure everyone was able to take 5 before we move into the next phase of the story here, and it looks like setting things on fire probably qualifies as such. So let's go take 5 here, everybody, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Have fun.
And I was just going to see if I could. I was just going to order up some food and Mage hand it over to me.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to D&D Night on DDOstream, right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. Every Sunday night, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, we do tabletop Dungeons & Dragons with a DDO twist. Every 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. Different Dungeon Master every Sunday, and we repeat generally one Sunday a month. So, for example, Gruby, who is playing Oro here tonight, does Dungeon Mastering on the first Sunday of the month. We've got Patrick from DDOcast doing the second, me temporarily doing the third, and Evil Beaker is doing the fourth currently. And we do rotate people in and out, and there's often room for you as well. If you would like to be a player particularly, I suspect there is room for you. So if you want to find out more, just get in touch with any of the fine folks here, either on, say, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, however, and I'm sure we can make that happen. We do have a Discord. I don't have an easy URL to give you for it, but we do have that Discord that you could see, I believe, in the text chat while we were on break there. So, welcome back. Just a quick note that we are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds. They provided the ultimate license to me and several other of the Dungeon Masters to make this thing happen using the Fantasy Grounds program, but you don't even need to pay for it to use it. And you can find out more at fantasygrounds.com. So, we have a group of adventurers who came back from a very, very messy adventure, very, very wealthy, to find the town of Oldman's Knee in a state of chaos, with just absolutely a throng of people kind of trying to barge their way into what appears to be one of the larger, if not the main tavern in town. There was also some spell casting by people who clearly should not normally be casting spells. As a matter of fact, our warlock of the party may feel somewhat affronted to see fine folks doing things like casting dancing lights from their posterior as a joke, for example. Things like that. And there was also desperation, greed, rage, anger going on. And you even saw two regular townsfolk start to knife each other. So the party busted through the front door of this tavern to find a whole bunch of people waiting in line. We had a little drum interlude, a drum solo as it were. We put the door back on, barred the door, went to the bartender, learned from the bartender that these people believe that they will get the ability to cast spells in exchange for what appears to be a fairly significant amount of money. We find ourselves with Nimmy Invisible, Lee talking to the bartender, Nashtai over by the door with the dwarf who was helping him out, and then ultimately Oro having a discussion with some of the people waiting in line. And that is where we find ourselves for this final stretch of D&D Night on DDOstream here with Nashtai. Your turn.
Wait, did I do my bonfire?
Oh, you're right. The bonfire, yes, that goes off though. And what I'm going to do is let that be the final section here. I do want to give Nashtai one more chance because you didn't do anything this turn. So I wanted to give you a couple seconds to kind of get prepared, as it were, to do whatever it is you're going to do.
I think I'm just going to move up here to the bar and ask if I can have a glass of cold mango juice and a burrito.
You no sooner get to the bar when a bonfire goes off, and you look over and it looks like it's your good friend and fellow adventurer Lee casting it. All right, so let's look up bonfire here. What level spell is this?
It is a cantrip.
Okay, it is a cantrip. Can you read its description to me?
Sure. It's a concentration up to 1 minute. You create a bonfire on the ground that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the bonfire fills a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space takes some damage, but I didn't do that. It's specifically not on anything. If they enter it...
Although the bartender is trapped.
Yes. If they enter it, it's 1d8 damage. and
2d8
they're-
for you.
what was that?
2d8 for you.
So basically, I'm going to cast it and start screaming, "Oh my God, fire! Get out! Everybody get out!"
All right. The bartender looks over and says, just gets absolute rage in his eyes, looks over in the direction of the door and says, "This is why I didn't want this here. Out! Out! Every expletive, one of you, out of my tavern now!"
And then start moving forward and like ushering people back.
Okay, so I've moved. It's still my turn, or are we still doing buff?
So yeah, you have movement or something if you'd like to wrap
Well,
up
I
your turn
moved
here.
up to
No,
the
no, I'm
bar.
speaking to.
Oh.
Sorry, I was speaking to Lee here. You do have the ability to. You said you cast bonfire. You do have the rest of your movement here if you would like to.
Yeah, I'm basically going to kind of move up near it and start like waving people back towards the door that we just came in, trying to get people out of here.
All right, let's move on to the next turn here. So that's going to start with you, Nimi. You just witnessed what
Did I
you.
not get a turn then?
No, I'm going to actually. Because you were the end of technically the last turn here. I wanted to give remember a chance to move, and do kind of preparation for the bonfire, because I'm doing this in loose. Because this isn't pure
Yes,
combat,
okay.
I'm doing this in kind of a loose turn order here.
Even
Nimi.
has a pretty big echo right now.
Oh, sorry about that. Nimi, it's your turn. You were invisible. You saw all what you just saw, and you see people starting to turn and run for the door, which, oops.
Is locked. Bard, mayhap.
But I'm invisible, and he doesn't know I'm here, and everyone's running back, which means I can start running here and wait for my chance to get through the thing.
All right, that sounds good. Is there something you'd like to do action-wise other than your movement? Let's say that was basically your movement. You see a long line of people heading down the hallway. It's unlikely to be, it's still going to be a little while yet, I think, before that hallway clears.
I want to. I should pickpocket this person next to me. Can I pickpocket that dwarf?
They have got money. As a matter of fact, they were holding 3 bags of gems. And spending so much time trying to focus on keeping their 3 bags of gems to their chest, they didn't even see their regular pocket book, which was just hanging from a belt on the side. It's got 200 gold in it.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the weight.
Nemi always wins.
All right, that is your turn. So, Nashtai, what would you like to do?
Well, I ordered my mango and my drink and my burrito. Have those arrived?
No, the bartender, you heard him yell instead. He ignored your order.
Well, I suppose I'm just going to move up here and sit on this bar stool and wait for people to clear out, meanwhile yelling, "Get out! Get out! There's a fire." Can't really think of anything else to do.
Well, they're locked in here. It's the funny part.
Oro, because you're not in line, there are a few people kind of milling around that I just didn't place, right? You have to picture this is the area of effect I placed more than every single person that's around, both here and outside. Right. You do, however, have a clear line of sight to the blocked door and the dwarf whose face just turned white as a sheet as all these people started turning toward them, and a fire broke out, not 20, 30, about 30 feet away from you.
All right, I'm going to use my mage hand to pull the my quarterstaff out of the door so they can get through it if they want to.
Yeah, no problem. That works because you're the one who put it there, so you put it right back. And as a matter of fact, it was able to fly right back to your hand.
All right, there you go. Don't burn to death.
Without
We're fire
the aid of
We're
the
adventurers, you know.
staff, you see the door start to fall inward.
Watch out though, it's going to come in, so you might want
Lee,
to step back before
your
you
turn.
step.
Can I see down this hallway?
You just see, well, backs and fronts and backs and fronts, and now more fronts than backs.
Okay.
But it is a skinny hallway. It looks like it probably was used by staff largely to, well, you assume those are the kitchens behind, and then probably a storeroom beyond.
Okay, so can I see the storeroom door?
You can't see the door, but that's what you would expect based on the taverns you've been to and what you saw from the outside.
Okay. What I will do is I'm going to use I'm going to use minor illusion, and I will create a big spark coming off the bonfire that arcs over and lands on the rug where the drum set is, and not create bonfire, but create the illusion of another fire
Oh my
like
gosh.
flaring up from that spark.
It's a minor illusion. So minor illusion, what is, if someone wants to, let me look that up real quick. The image can't create sound, light, smell, or other sensory effect.
No, I'm counting on the chaos to cover that it's not making any sound.
Oh, okay. Intelligence investigation check will take care of it. All right. So you see the person kind of right in front of Nashtai say, it's another one of this. People need to start to learn how to use this stuff. This one, I bet, is fake too. Ah! And starts screaming as she lights on fire.
Whoops.
Anything else?
Get
Whoops.
out!
However, the fact that this person is now on fire has yet further frightened the people congregated. All right, this turn is Lee. You're right up first because you feel bad, kind of, maybe.
Okay. I will drag the woman out of the fire and basically shove her towards the front door while screaming down the hallway.
She
"Everybody,
flops
the
over
bar's
a
on
chair
fire!"
here, and you kind of end up over here, facing her. Just kind of helping put out the fire there.
Yes.
Nimmy, how about you?
I think
you just
move Jimmy instead of the woman. There you go.
Oops, yeah.
All right. Well, who's? I guess. Oh, she's with me. I can't pick her pocket.
I would certainly hope not. I will stomp you like a bug.
A really, really handsome and successful bug. All right.
I don't see any of those. I suppose you think you also have tremendous drumming ability.
Well, you don't see it because I'm invisible. All right. Well, instead of picking pockets, can I pants this next person to cause more chaos?
Yes, definitely. You could pants the person with the red hair there, which would kind of block, because they'd have to either get over the person or get over the chair.
All right, I will use sleight of hands pants.
Again, that person is so weighed down by coins that are slung to their belt that all it really took was just a slight tug, and the person flops forward on their knees with their pants around their ankles, and ouch, that must have been a really painful tattoo.
Wowee, very brave.
Anything else?
Is there a chance I can pants another before my turn's over?
No, you don't have time to do that. But you would have time to, like, say, move or something if you wanted to.
All right, I'll move. Oh, I guess that's as out of the way as I can between the fire and other people.
All right, Oro, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna be waving people towards the exit. Like, careful. When this is over, I've got a way we can do this much more organized, and so we all don't
In
have
the
to crowd
corner of your
together.
eye, however, you look over to see the door falling inward. Is there something you want to do about that?
Let's see. I'm only a little stronger than my actual mage hand.
It's a big,
I mean-
heavy door with iron on it.
Yeah. Okay, seriously. Move away from the door. It's going to fall on you. Don't let it fall on you, and then once it's fallen, which will just take a second here, then make your way.
Okay.
And I'll use a prestidigitation to make it louder and more intense.
Sure. Sounds great. Before I get to your turn then, Nashtai, I'm going to have the people move. It's the biggest block. So what you see happen is the door falls inward. People are crushing forward to get out from the fire. They know there's no other window really above here, except for one kind of beyond the drum set, but they don't. That's pretty tight. You also see the door fall in, and right towards the last second, this drow person gets pushed into the door and gets clonked on the head, and that's the last you see is them fall under the door as people come rushing toward it. However, you make headway despite the pantsed person, who actually, let me put him back, is kind of crawling forward. A couple of people get forward while the rest really bunch up behind you. Thankfully, it looks like the door that had been barred to your entry had perhaps not been barred for very long. Because you see what, is that the end of the line? Nashta, your turn.
Can I, how many people?
You're not going
Oops,
first.
wrong push to talk key. How many people, like, now keep in mind I'm rather tall. Can I clamber over and or shove these people out of the way and head down the path?
Yes, you probably could. Why don't you give me, like, I don't know, a check that you think might be most appropriate for it.
Let's see. Athletics.
With a 19, you get to move with disadvantage, essentially.
Move with it, so I get to move only half. Or
Yeah,
what?
half movement, 2 for 1, basically. So if you take a full double movement, you would be able to move 30 feet.
Okay, and the spurs are 5 feet.
Correct.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. I am past the crowd. And that's
Yeah, we're going to say that that's probably going to be the end of that turn here. So, Lee, you're up.
All right, I'm continuing to shout at people to get out and also continuing to move forward, basically following Nashtai. So that's a dexterity save? What
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, well, it's going to be let's say what's most appropriate for you, right? Like if you're an acrobat or something like that, at the very least, it's going to be athletics to be able to kind of get around people. But Dex would be fine too.
Let's see. Can I deception my way past him?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that'd be fine. Yeah,
I'm the
you
fire
could.
marshal. Move
Exactly
out,
right.
move out.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Not very well though. You get basically only past a couple of people if you want to, but you can get past a couple of people.
All right.
Nimmy, you're up.
Seems like Eberron halflings don't get the small stature ability to walk through legs. I'll try to wade through the people
As a halfling, you actually are pretty good at this. In addition, occasionally you have to get past the security that wants their money back at the end of a night. Once or twice it's happened. So you have advantage on this check. Turned out to be a good thing, too, because you needed it. Because there's a lot of legs and arms and bags that were not normally carried around. Lots of sacks and crunches. And was that a... Oh, ouch, that was a vase. You get full movement, though. Where do you want to be?
I want to eke out in front of the pally.
All right, there you go.
That's all.
All right, Nashtai, what's up?
I am counting. I can now move freely, correct?
Yeah, so as a matter of fact, let me explain what you see. You see, it looks like a couple of customers that... either they didn't hear anything, but how could they not have, or they didn't care? Otherwise, you see a person just at the edge of your vision who's wearing a fine red coat, a very fine red coat, and in front of her, 2 or 3 sort of looks like kind of muscle type folks sitting around a table.
Hmm.
I'm going
To move forward 30.
here.
Here, I think.
Wait,
Can I get past this guy right in front?
No. Well, you can try, but the person says, "You gotta wait your turn. I'm not waiting through fire for nothing."
Can I gently but forcibly do a strength check and see if I can push him out of the way?
Yeah, you can do basically like a grapple.
Let's see. Would that just be strength or acrobatics or athletics?
Yeah, it'd be a contested strength check, basically. You rolled higher than them, so all right.
Oh, that's
There you go.
wow.
Just
Dice
barely,
are worse
but you
than mine.
did. So there you go. You managed to wrestle, but at the end of it, you are right in front of that person. They are very mad, and they think you're in line. What are you going to do?
Can I still cast a cantrip? Actually, I'm standing right next to this.
Why, yes,
I'm-
you can.
Oh, but he wouldn't necessarily. Well, if I'm pointing at him, he'll know it's coming from me. So the one behind me is the one that's made.
Correct, the one you just shoved out of the way.
I'm going to go ahead and point at him. Whoops, I'm rotating him instead of me. And say in a whisper that only he can hear. I have powers of which you know not. I am here to help. You must let me by. It's urgent that there are wrongs being done here and we must right them.
Ooh, interesting.
Persuasion.
Person looks at you somewhat dubiously, but then looks back, sees that the hallway isn't on fire yet, and kind of sits still.
I give him a little nod of thanks and turn my attention back to this red-robed.
Okay, that'll be your turn. Speaking of fire, Oro, you're seeing a bunch of people
Alright.
stream through this bonfire. Meanwhile, there's a illusory bonfire over by the drum set, and a bunch of people streaming down the hallway. You did see, you think, at least one or two of your party members slip through the crowd.
Sure. However, there's someone getting probably crushed to death.
Yes, there is someone being crushed to death under a door. On top of that, there is the dwarf who has got a throng of panicked people basically getting ready to crush into him.
Okay, I'm gonna try to move this person out of likely to be dead soon into a better position.
Because of the angle, with the shortest point being at the doorway, you can grab onto the person with a good check. So do what you feel would be best. In terms of a roll or something like that. Like if you've got a skill or a
Right.
spell or something like that. It's a big, heavy door, so whatever they're jammed, wedged in there, they crumpled underneath it. It looks like it didn't crush their skull, thankfully. You can't even tell if they're moving. It's just too chaotic right now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna probably need this person's help, so I'm gonna look down, look real close to the person, hide my face a bit, reach out, and I'm gonna heal him using my divine healing. So
All
that
right.
he can help and tell him.
You're the person
help me
groans and
get
looks
him.
up at you. What did you do? Help me.
You forgot to press your button again, Alex.
Oh.
I can hear you
Thank
talking.
you. I said I do that and I tell him, now you help me get you out, and I'm gonna pull on him because I'm not very strong. I'm just regular old normal human strength.
All right, make a
So I
strength
need his
check.
help to get him out. So that's difficult.
You're trying. You almost get it, but you don't get it this round. You are holding hands. They're pushing, but it's just too heavy, and there's too many people kind of thronging around. Speaking of which, the people start thronging forward, bashing into the dwarf there, trying to get out through the frame. They kind of push the dwarf forward, but he falls across the door frame. And people start crushing through, running into each other. You see some bags drop, but you also see people probably being hurt pretty severely. The person who's there is still flopped over the table, just kind of staring. And, thankfully, the crowd is starting to thin out slightly.
Hooray!
All right, so there we go. Nimmy, your turn.
All right. I'm gonna move up to this guy. This guy is, obviously waiting in line, right? And he's been waiting all day to give this guy his money, right?
Pretty likely, yeah.
I'm gonna rob him. Oh,
Ooh.
Having luck.
Okay, he
I-
turns around, and now you've got a combatant on your hand. Let me actually call
Wait.
someone up.
Wait, I'm using my ability having luck. It allows me to reroll ones.
Oh, fantastic! Right. Okay. Well,
Just barely.
you could have sworn. I mean, you kind of had to put your finger there, and you could have sworn he was going to turn around, but he didn't. He must be really, really mad at Nashtai.
Oh gosh.
But you did it. You've robbed him, and the guy, again. I mean, you're just based on weight and expertise, but there must be 1,000 coins in here. A couple of big bags. Huge, heavy.
Oh yeah. He's gonna have a hard day when he goes up and pays us for his order.
Well, I mean, it would be less maybe if they're all copper, maybe, but still hundreds of coins, several hundred at least.
Oh yeah, I just ruined another guy's life.
All right, so let us move on then, unless you were going to do something else. To Nashtai. No, anything?
Well, if I still have probably like 15 movement, can I move past him after?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Sure. Oops, sorry, excuse me. And you end up kind of sweeping the bags off to your right on your way through. Except for the whole, finger thing that we talked about. But it worked. They didn't even notice. They must be really mad at Nashtai.
Yeah, good luck for me.
My turn.
Indeed.
I'm going to just step right around this person and come up here to this person in the red room. And I am going to cast Zone of Truth centered on this person. This is a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point of my choice, which is this person here. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts this turn must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, it cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. I do know whether each creature succeeds or fails its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth.
The important thing, though, is that an affected creature is aware of the spell.
But still does need to make a charisma saving throw and cannot lie. It can evade, but cannot lie. It can refuse to answer or give an evasive answer that is still actually true.
Sure, sounds good. All right. And so we're going to put that cone. Or it's a
Right,
zone.
centered right on that person.
How wide is it?
It is 15 feet radius. I never know how to draw that, so. Yep, that's good.
So everyone is impacted by it.
Yes. Yes.
Including Nimmy, so he just starts spouting truths.
No,
Maybe
he
says
just can't tell a lie.
So suddenly everyone feels like there's clearly a zone of truth being cast here. Oh, put that back. Feel free to leave it up if you want.
Oh, I don't think I did take it.
I did it.
Yeah, feel free to just leave it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it'll be up for a while. Because it's going to change things, right? Because all of a sudden, everyone kind of pauses. You see the kid who clearly couldn't be any more than, I don't know. How old is your character? Do you know?
Mine?
Yeah.
She's about 36.
So
And
clearly...
she has something else she wants to do before her turn ends, just to let you know.
Okay, anyway, clearly when you cast Zone of Truth, you see this kid who clearly is half your age look around to the three people next to him exceptionally slyly, maybe more so. Pretty darn sure he knows exactly what you cast.
Okay, now which one is the kid? Is that the one behind me?
The one
or
in the
one
red.
Okay, I'm going to ask this kid in the red. This is the one with the scrolls, correct?
Well, you don't know anything about the scrolls. That's just what you've heard so far, yes. This is the person that everyone's waiting in line for, I guess.
I would like to know if you are running any kind of a scam answer truthfully. Well, he
Right.
gets the charisma saving throw, and I do get to know if he succeeds or fails.
Sure, actually, give me just a quick second here.
Actually, I'm trying to figure out what the DC on that is.
All right, I'm not sure. You didn't see that, right? You didn't see the roll?
I did not see
Okay.
that.
Anyway, I can make it visible, though. You see that he was fighting briefly, but not very well. Kind of looks to the ground, his eyes wander back and forth a little bit, and then he says, I'm giving people exactly what I say they're getting.
Can I continue talking to him?
Let's say casting the spell, and that is one turn.
Okay.
But for future turns, then yes, you could. Oro.
Okay. So, I'm still trying to keep this guy from getting murdered. So I'm going to pull him out. Hopefully.
Yep.
Then I've got other things to do after that. But if we can get him out, great. That's better.
Yeah, and with the person adding a little bit to the roll, they barely get him out, and you push back kind of with a shove and fall backwards. Did you want to do anything else?
I guess
never mind.
I'll use my move portion or my action portion, whichever, to get myself back up this way.
Yeah, sounds good. No problem.
Okay.
Lee, your turn.
Okay, I am still concentrating on my bonfire, but I am ushering people, talking calmly and ushering people out, telling them not to push and run so we can get everyone out safely.
The person in front of you is gaunt. It looks like they haven't eaten for a while, and they're clearly not well-to-do, despite having several bags of coins jangling around next to them. You see tears actually streaming down the person's face, and as you're leading him out, he's mumbling, "This is how I was going to do it. This is how we were going to eat."
What's the matter, sir?
He's lost in his own kind of pain. He is not having a conversation with you.
All right,
Anything else?
that's it.
You could move in if you wanted to, son. Because you've ushered people past the bonfire at this point. It's kind of up to you whether you want to usher them all the way through the door or whether you would rather turn around and go into the storeroom.
I just want to leave the bonfire going so they don't come back in.
Do you need visual line of sight or just concentration?
I'm not entirely sure.
We'll say concentration's good enough for now.
Okay. Then I will move back this way.
All right. So in what might be the final formal turn of the session here, let's start with Lee. Actually, I'm going to start with the people. So you see people starting to rush through the door, and so people are disappearing here. They were trampling over the dwarf, and you think you heard a crunch. However, the dwarf was pulled out through the door and is now out of sight. Some number of people have been able to rush outside, and with all the chaos inside, you can't really hear the chaos outside, but you kind of have to assume that it's got to be pretty busy out there as well. So, Lee, it is up to you to decide what you'd like to do here for this round.
Okay, I'm going to move up to this fella, and I'm actually going to use my deception on him with the same sort of, like, I'm the the fire marshal, I need you to leave the building, sir. Your place in line will be saved. Don't worry on that account.
How? How will it be saved?
I have a very good memory, sir. What is your name, sir?
My name is Dorfus.
All right, Dorcas.
Dorfus.
I have you right here at this door. I promise you that as soon as we get this fire out, everyone will be able to come back in and be in their exact spot.
Do you have a coin
Just
for me or
please.
something that'll show, like I can give to a person to say that it's from you? You're with them. You're with them. And that, make a perception check.
Eh,
Psh.
Nothing. Okay. So what were you gonna say?
let's see. I will pull out. What do I have? Let's see. I will pull out a piece of from my leatherworking tools and cut a little strip of leather and give it to him and tell him to make sure to give this back to me, and I will know exactly where he's supposed to be.
I'll take it. I'll take it. And the person hobbles off. All right,
And
that
then
sounds
I'll
like a
move
pretty
forward.
good turn there. Nimmy, how about yourself?
All right. Well, she's interrogating him. So I'm going to try to. Might as well. I'm going to try to rob the kid.
You're gonna try to rob the kid.
Yes,
Really?
light of
Okay.
hands him. See what kind of evidence I can get.
Go big or go home.
No, not at all. I don't think. Just a second. What? So the sleight of hand, that would be a DC check, right?
I really don't know how it works. I think it might work against his perception.
I think that's right.
Okay. I don't actually see a perception, but I do see a intelligence check. Or maybe Dex? What do you think?
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
All right. Yeah, not a chance. It's almost, you see his eyes briefly dart towards you, and he shifts his hip away at the last second. He clearly saw that you were trying to steal from him. Or at least saw that something did. And that raises another point. You were invisible.
Yeah, it doesn't break until I attack.
But you didn't attack. So whatever it was that he must be so on guard for his possessions that it was almost instinctual.
Ooh.
Oro,
I'm gonna try to
actually, yeah, a little bit more you can do if you want for your turn's done here.
just a quick low whisper to Nastasia, Nashte. He's hiding something. He's keeping someone real close. Then I'll end my turn.
All right, Oro.
Okay. As I'm just walking down this hallway, pretty much, I'm gonna send a my own message, but I don't have to point or to say anything to the barkeep and go and tell her and say, go ahead and close the door after the people have left. You'll be perfectly fine. So will your bar, at least as far as fire is concerned.
All right, he recognized, he heard you. All right. You see this person kind of walking past you down the hall, and the people up ahead kind of talking to him. So we are going to wrap it up here and begin the next session with the conversation.
Turn this round.
I know you didn't get a turn this round. Sorry. Even mentioned in chat here. You didn't get a turn this round because we're done when everyone gets in within earshot of this individual. So we're going to wrap it up. Plus, it's also 9:47. We go from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. So next week, we're going to find out a little bit more about who this person is, what's going on, what it is exactly people are buying, and then see if the party wants it too. So you can stay tuned for week 3. The third Sunday of February is going to be Cantrip Part 2. This is a 3-part series. Part 1 was tonight. Part 2 in February. The third and final part will be in March. So perhaps I will see you, hopefully, on February 16th, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. If not, you can always watch these videos after the fact on twitch.tv/DDOstream. D&D Night on DDOstream is brought to you by Fantasy Grounds, who have the most virtual tabletop licenses, and you can find out more at fantasygrounds.com. Any kind of final shout-outs here? Why don't we start with Alex?
Hi, this is Alex again, and you can find out about my stuff on Twitter under Groovy, or you can find my Twitch under Groovy, or you can go to eldritchentertainment.com to look at the products that we...
Yep, eldritchentertainment.com. Also worth noting that you are streaming in the afternoons here on Sundays, right here on DDOstream, kind of leading in to D&D Night as well. So both you and Lynn are often there on Sunday afternoons on DDOstream.
Yeah, I'm the lazy one. I'm not always there.
Okay, so let's go up next with the lazy one. No, I'm kidding. Lynn, what would you like to say?
Lynn from Alex and Lynn, DDO Sunday. You can also find us on the amethystdragonfly.com, and we will see you next Sunday.
All right. Let's say goodbye to Nivmund here. What would you like to say?
Hello, you can catch me on YouTube. Just search Nimvin Dirtsinger, and Twitch at twitch.tv/Nimvin. Also, I'm part of a guild called High Lords of Malkir, and we're doing teaching raids. You can get more information on High Lords teaching raids in the DDO forums. I think the Solona forum.
Sweet. And then finally, Even, note here, who's playing Nashtai.
Yeah, I am Even, and about the only streaming I'm doing nowadays is the second and fourth Wednesday of every month on my channel, twitch.tv/Kobold, and that is Kobold Kindergarten, where I basically learn how to DM, and I've got adventurers trapped in a cave, mining crystals and kobolds and stuff like that. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, second and fourth Wednesday of every month.
All right, I am the community manager for Dungeons & Dragons Online with Standing Stone Games. You can find out my show on DDOstream every Wednesday at noon for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. A lot of Q&A, DDO talk, not D&D talk, DDO, but we obviously cross the streams quite a bit, including every Sunday night on D&D Night on DDOstream. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you again soon.
Night. Thanks for DMing.
Night.